Hey.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah. I just walked up the stairs. And so, it was brutal. Ready to watch the movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Legend said there's been a curse on these woods.
Do you believe in the stories about the Blair Witch?
Oh my God. Oh, they're everywhere.
What was that?
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Initial Reaction. My name is Philip.
I'm Charles.
And this week we are talking Blair Witch. It is the, I guess, third movie in the Blair Witch series, trilogy, franchise, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it is directed by Adam Wingard, and he's the guy who did You're Next, as well as The Guest. Did you see either of those?
Yes, saw The Guest. Phenomenal.
Yeah, loved it. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why I was really excited to see this, because I haven't seen the other Blair Witch movies.
You haven't seen the first one?
I haven't seen the first one. I didn't see Book of Shadows.
Can I just tell you right now, you just saw it, so no need to go back and see it.
I almost watched it this week, just like in preparation for this. It was just one of those ones like I heard a lot about, but I was too young to see when it came out, so I never got around to it.
Right.
But so yeah,
it was one of the. It's one of those pop culture series that that first one, or oh, this was real. They pitched it as being real, and then 2 weeks later, it was not real. Yeah,
I remember like all the hoopla around.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype, and it delivered for what it was and the time period and everything, and so 15 years later,
something I think it was like 99 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said when it was 4 and then 15 years, so I guess the kid's 19 or 20.
Yeah, I was trying to put that together.
Already a paramedic.
I was like, putting that together because I was like, oh, cool, they're doing this for a class. Because they kind of set up that they're doing the movie for a class, and then it was like, okay, so he's like 20, 21 maybe.
He's a doctor.
He's in college, but no, he's an EMT, and so they set that up early. But no, I guess initial reaction of this movie. What did you think?
I mean, it was pretty similar to the original. Book of Shadows was a piece of trash, so don't ever watch that.
I was kind of more intrigued to watch that one than I was the original.
I mean, you can, but it's rough.
Well, I just feel like I kind of knew what the original was at this point. Like, and I was like, there's probably no point in me really. I won't get anything from this, so I might as well just go in fresh and see how I feel about this.
It almost hit the same plot points, same beats.
Yeah.
I like the way anytime you have a movie like this, I forget what else we watched that was like found footage. When they update the technology, they have like a drone. I was like, they better have a drone in this.
Yeah, I like that they had the drone.
They had one. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, okay.
The GPS technology.
So at least some stuff I expected that I was happy that I expected that was in there. The micro cameras on your ear, and then the GPS location and stuff like that. That was cool. Judging it on its own merit, I don't know. It was kind of there were some unnecessary jump scares. There was some unnecessary I don't know, overacting a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, see, I'm judging it on its own merit totally. But am always with scary movies, with horror movies, you're kind of judging them against other horror movies, I guess. And this one, just kind of as far as found footage movies go, felt similar, and it felt the same. And honestly, it felt kind of repetitious at times because it was just like more of what's possibly in the forest and stuff like that. And so it was just kind of like. It takes a lot of time, like an hour's worth of, like, it does set up these characters and everything, and I was somewhat invested in the characters, but as far as like authentic scares, maybe the last 15 to 20 minutes really, I got a couple chills, and I was like, okay, the last 15 minutes is a solid like short horror movie. Like I did really enjoy that, and it brought it up a lot for me because the first hour I was kind of like, all right, come on, I need something more, some more intrigue.
Get in the forest.
But no, like the last 15-20 minutes of it really, there were a couple times I got legitimate chills, and I was like, okay, this is going in some interesting directions. It did something interesting with like the time and what the forest does and how it plays with the minds of the characters and everything, which I thought was really cool. I don't know if was that part of the original at all?
Yeah, there were some time gaps and stuff with the original in there. The only thing my major criticism is if you're going to do found footage, there needs to be continuity, and so whoever the script supervisor was did a horrible job, because there was times where they're using the head cameras and they're looking at someone, it's just like, oh my gosh, or something like that. Then it cuts to that camera and they're looking back at him like, are you okay, bro? Or you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, no, this guy has his head pointing down at the ground. You would see the ground.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like a script supervisor is supposed to, do a continuity log and make sure all those things are.
I was kind of watching for that at the beginning, and I kind of like, because there's.
I don't even watch for it but when it happens, it pops out to me.
With the use of the older camera and then the newer one, there's some
stuff like that. That's interesting. Using the
I
old
like that
film,
stuff.
The old.
And that seemed pretty consistent.
VHS-C tapes and stuff, that were popular 15 years ago. That stuff was cool. Different levels of quality was fine. It was just like the continuity as far as, from shot to shot. If you're going to jump around and make us look at a shaky camera the whole time, you know what I mean? Like you need to at least
make it as authentic as possible, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like if this is found footage, like, that's what I don't understand. Like the stuff, at the end when it kind of, I can't do it without being spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were
put it there.
Yeah, no spoiler alert. I'm not going to do that. So, but anyway, so yeah, some directional stuff was a little weird, a little off point, but other than that, I mean.
Well, I was gonna say, like, to go along with that, there was one point where I think her name was Stacy was the character, and she ended up having the droid control. Yeah. And I was like, how did she end up with that? And I feel like there were, because the last time we saw it, a different character had it, and there was like no. I mean, and that's a small thing to complain about, I guess, but it felt like that happened a couple times where I was just like, are we just supposed to assume this happened, or like, is this just out of convenience? Like, it felt kind of a little lazy in parts, but yeah. And honestly, the whole, like, I felt like it was inspired. A lot of, like, they really wanted to pay homage to what came before it, even though I hadn't necessarily seen it, but at the same time, it felt like they didn't really have enough new ideas to continue it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I think they don't want to surprise. I think they wanted to, like, they waited so long to say, or what was it called, The Woods or something like that. Yeah. And then Comic-Con go, hey, Blair Witch, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is coming out in 2 months or whatever. Instead of like promoting, doing all this stuff. I mean, like, people like Book of Shadows 2, or whatever. It's just like, I'm not excited. So I think they did a good job, like, bum rushing people.
Right. No, the promotional campaign was cool. Like, it was a good approach to get people excited for it. But
is it worth seeing? If you're a horror fan, I would say yes.
If you're a horror fan, I'd say.
If you're just a regular moviegoer, probably go see something else this weekend. Yeah. If you haven't seen anything in the past couple weeks.
There's enough solid thrills there in the third act that I would definitely recommend it for horror fans. Right. But overall, it's a pretty average.
Initial reaction?
I can't go more than 2.5. Like, it was pretty average for me. It had some solid bits, it had some inspired bits, but overall, average horror flick.
Yeah, I was going to go 2, but if you're a horror fan, go see it. And if you've watched the original and are a fan of the lore and stuff, they do add stuff to the lore.
Nice.
And add pieces of information that you might think is cool. So if you're a horror fan, definitely go see it.
Awesome. Well, definitely check our channel out as well. Subscribe. Initial reaction reviews. You can check out my written reviews at reviewsfromabed.com. But be sure to check back with us every week. We have a new release, or a new review of the biggest release. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.